Hi guys, I hope you're well. Today I thought I would film something that I've been meaning to film for ages, and that is my top high street / drugstore products. Now, these are products that are relatively cheap, things that you can find in Boots, Superdrug, Tesco, that kind of shop. So basically high street makeup. And I love spending money on makeup, don't get me wrong. I do have my moments in MAC and Laura Mercier and places like that. But I know that you can also find just as good makeup on the high street that isn't going to break the bank, and especially if you're young and you haven't got, you know, loads of money to spend, if you're a student or something like that, if your job doesn't allow you to spend hundreds of pounds on makeup products, then these products are brilliant for you, and I can assure you they do the job. So let's get going. So the first product that I have used for absolute years is the Simple Kind Skin Replenishing Rich Moisturizer. Now it's a bit of a mouthful for me, but this moisturiser is just really light but still very rich and sinks into the skin really, really well. I personally use this in the morning only. I use this under my makeup. Again, because it's such a light moisturiser, under makeup it just works really well. The makeup doesn't sink into it. You don't kind of get a bit of a weird thing when you're rubbing your foundation in. It really is separate from your makeup, and I find that it gives my skin just enough moisture for the day. I do sometimes use this in the evening as well if I can't find my other moisturiser or if I run out of moisturiser. So again, it's a rich one, so you can use this whenever you want. And I think it's about £4. I'm not sure because I haven't bought one for ages because this lasts me so long. But I will leave all the links and prices below. But if you're after a moisturiser that will make your skin feel fresh and just do the job, then this is definitely one to pick up. Next up, I have a concealer that, again, I absolutely love. It's just one of my favourite concealers. I've spent so much money on other concealers and I always go back to this one. And this is the Lasting Perfection Concealer by Collection, which I know is a blogger favourite, definitely. The packaging isn't great. After a while it looks a bit messy, and the black, as you can see, does start to come off. But it doesn't matter. If the product's good, it doesn't matter what's on the outside. Don't judge a book by its cover. This, I think, is about £4-ish. And I find that under my eyes and on like blemishes, it just gives me a really, really strong coverage. It's quite a heavy concealer, but again, you can blend it in quite well. I do blend this in using a little brush, just a concealer brush, and I find that that works perfectly. And if you do need a little bit of a heavier coverage concealer and you're looking for one for not very much money, then definitely give this one a go. If I'm in a rush or I'm nipping out for the day and I don't have time to put makeup on, or I simply don't want to wear too much foundation, I would literally just pop some of this concealer on and that is it. So it's really, really good, and you can blend it really well as well. So concealer, woo, well done Collection. So next up, might as well stick with the base products. I have this Browse That Brow Kit by 17, and this is something that I've been testing out recently and I don't think I can live without it now. It's just such a good brow kit, and again, for a really reasonable price, and if you bite your nails, it's really hard to open. So this is inside the kit. I'll show you a little close up here. Basically, you get like a little gel, a powder, and then a highlighter. You get a little brush, which usually I wouldn't actually use. I like to use my own brush, but that brush is really good, and I've used that since I've had this. And you also get a little pencil as well. So what I like to do with this is pop the pencil on just to give me a bit of shape. I use the little brush supplied with a bit of the powder, and then I just run a bit of the highlighter through with my finger. It's really that easy. You really don't need to blow the bank on your brows. Let's put it that way, girls. Your brows can be cheap and still look good. So definitely give this a try. I think this is sold in Boots, so give that a go if you're after a new brow product. Then I have my favourite blush ever, and again, totally cheap and affordable and still absolutely brilliant, lasts all day, and this is of course by Sleek. Now, Sleek have been around for so long, and I remember the buzz about them when they first come around. Bloggers absolutely loved them, and I have had this blush since them days. That was a couple of years ago now, so it just shows how well these last. I've picked this one. I've got hundreds of the things, but I've picked this one because it's the kind of colour that I'm wearing at the moment, and this is Pomegranate. And it's just this really nice kind of berry shade. It stays on my face all day, and I know that even if I put a tiny bit on my brush, the payoff is going to be really, really good and really, really strong, and which probably is why they last so long, because you don't really need to get your brush in there. I think if you were to swipe your brush really heavily in these, you'd end up with massive colour on your cheeks, so you really don't need very much on your brush. This colour is really nice because it just gives you that really nice rosy, healthy glow, and I like that in a blush. I like to put it on and feel healthier and then eat a bar of chocolate. So next up is possibly my favourite product ever from the high street, and this is by Gosh. You guys think that you're going to know what it is, and you're probably right, because I mentioned this mascara in all of my videos. Now this is actually a different one, because the one that I used to love has just disappeared off the planet of the earth. It's disappeared. So this is the alternative one, and I love this just as much, and this is the Gosh Amazing Length and Build Mascara, and this is about $7.99, but again, Gosh have a lot of kind of 2-for-1 offers, so I tend to like pick up 3 at a time, because you have to be quite careful with Gosh. I find that they discontinue things quite quickly, so if you love something, you have to kind of pick it up, you know, loads of them. You end up with like a whole drawer of the same product. I mean, that's just me, I don't know. And it helps to build my lashes longer and also wider, so I feel that it adds loads of length, but also kind of makes them look a lot thicker, and I don't need to kind of apply 2 mascaras. I think for my whole life I've always had to apply a lengthening one and then a building one, but with this it literally does do both the jobs, and I never believe mascaras when they say, oh, we do everything, but this really does. So again, I'm really loving this, and for £7, that's the general price of a mascara on the high street now. So I think this is really brilliant, and I have never, ever, ever spent more than, say, £10 on mascara. And people always ask me like, oh, what mascara do you use? Always Gosh, pretty much always Gosh, or Maybelline from the high street, £7, that is what you need to do. You don't need to spend 30-40 quid on your eyelashes. So those are my favourite high street items. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it proves you don't need to spend mega bucks on looking good. You can literally just walk in and buy something really cheap and look just as good. If you'd like to see any other videos like this, then let me know in the comments below, and I will try my best. And I will see you again next week for another one. Bye guys, thanks for watching. Mwah.